Hey everybody!
Racetrack Ladies here.
Coming at you live from Daytona Beach.
That's where we are.
Florida.
Okay. We're low.
Low.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Very bad.
So this is our review of the Budweiser Shootout that we attended last night.
Okay,
thanks to Lady N.
There's been quite a bit of discussion about we were gonna go, we were not gonna go, we were gonna go, we weren't gonna go, and then we all drank the Kool-Aid.
I knew we were going.
Lady N was pouring, and so we took the drink.
Yeah, we all shared, and I have to say, I'm glad I went.
And I'm reminded of just how exciting a race that the Budweiser Shootout really is.
Yeah.
Well, and I really appreciated that the winner, Kevin Harvick, thanked the fans over and over again.
Several times. In every single interview he did.
Every driver did.
Yes.
Because, you know, $100 a ticket, you know, cold weather, you know, making that trip.
Bad economy, unemployment
you really
high.
have to make a decision to do it.
That's
I mean,
right.
every driver was interviewed was thanking the fans over and over. I think somebody talked to the drivers.
I think they did.
I think the economy talked to the drivers.
That's right. Yeah, because they realized they were getting paid more than any of us in the stands.
They were very thankful.
But we had great seats, thanks to Lady N. She got us some great seats.
Yeah, very good seats. And it was kind of interesting because, you know, we were kind of curious what was going to happen at the first race of the season, you know, to know how many people were going to turn out for the race.
Right. How full a crowd were we going to have?
Pretty good crowd.
Well, you know, what I found interesting is that, you know, when we got to the parking lot, you know, it was 6 o'clock and it wasn't very packed. And then we go up into the stands and there was lots of room around us, I still think.
Yeah.
I
We
think
were in
they
the reserve seats.
Well, I think they were all down watching Dirks.
Dirk
He
Bentley.
did a little concert before the show.
I'm still not a Dirks fan.
He actually had good music.
He's okay. He's
But his
alright.
interview, because he's being sued, I don't know.
I didn't get that. What's he
Oh,
being
he was
sued
making
for?
a joke.
No.
Yeah, because he said not really.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
I thought I heard a
His
JK
PR
in
person
there.
was like going, "Oh my gosh!"
You don't joke about being sued. Ha!
So,
Anyhow,
he
we
sang a couple
digress.
songs.
Yeah, so anyhow, so, you know, up in the stands, I think I read somewhere that there were 30,000 fans there, which, when you think
all?
about it,
That's not very many fans.
Not when you think about it, that place can hold 200,000, but, you know, normally, that's with both front stretch and back stretch.
But
And we
most
don't
of
normally
us-
have the back stretch
But most
done.
of the fans were from Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
local race, that's what they say, because the out-of-towners, that would be us, don't normally come in until Wednesday,
Right.
before the actual, you know, real races actually take place. But going back to the Budweiser Shootout, I did think it was very exciting.
It was a good race.
And I did not catch the name of the lady that sang our national anthem. She was a Miss something, wasn't she?
I didn't get that part, but bless her little heart.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if y'all caught it at home, but the microphone kept cutting out. And so we were
Yeah.
only getting part of her. But you know what?
We carried on.
We rallied together, and I'm telling you, our entire section, we were singing
The
it loud and proud.
The entire crowd went, "Uh-oh."
We'll fill it in.
We got to help the sister out.
We're American Idols.
That's right. And
So
we did.
we all
And it was
sang,
nice.
and the drivers, you could see the drivers were like, "What? The crowd is singing?"
Yeah.
We were singing loud.
We were loud and proud.
Well, you know, the economy is tough right now, but we're proud to be Americans, and we
Amen.
sang our hearts out.
Yes, we
That's
did.
right.
We don't know if you heard us at home, but we were very
We
loud.
were singing.
And in tune. We were very in tune.
That's right.
But you know what? She started at a good key.
Yeah.
It
It
wasn't
helped
too
us.
high.
Yeah, we
That
can
helps a
handle
whole
it.
lot.
Yeah. My falsetto worked well.
But she didn't get fancy on us or anything.
No, she didn't. She sang it like
was
it's supposed to.
straight
That's
there.
right. She
Well,
sang
right.
it.
It's a perfectly good song. No need to mess it up.
So
Yeah.
good job. Thanks.
Good job.
Good
for doing
job.
that for us.
Good job.
So it was kind of exciting for me, especially because this was the first time that I got to see Tony Stewart in his new car on the track and get to listen to the new voices on the radio. I found myself kind of getting excited.
Okay, well,
Yeah, and then we watched a race.
I mean, yeah, so he was in a new ride, but it wasn't just Tony. It was, you know, Casey Mears. It was Bobby
Yeah.
Labonte. It was, I mean,
A
all
lot
these-
of drivers in new cars.
They were like, okay, who's number
All right, who's
44
that now?
again?
And
Yeah.
what
Yeah, I kept
sponsors on
asking.
that car?
I kept asking Lady S. I'm like, who's driving the what car?
Yeah.
I said, oh, who's sponsoring Ask.com? Who's that sponsoring? I'm like, I was all confused.
Well, I had my list of drivers for my scanner frequencies, and I'm like, okay, who's that number? Who is that driver now?
But the good thing is that the 24, 48, and 88 were all the same.
Yes, they were.
That was my shameless plug for HMS.
Anyhow, but
Very
all in all,
shameless.
you know, it was a pretty good race. Although one of the comments that a lot of the drivers were saying, and they were all saying the same thing, was, "Man, it is wild out here."
Yeah, but it's a non-points event.
You know who I thought was really wild? Jimmy Johnson with that beard on.
He looks cute. Woo!
He look good.
He needs to keep the beard. He says he does it in the off season, but he needs to keep that beard.
Yeah.
Nobody
you had-
does it as good as Tony.
Well, on the stage of the Chevys.
That's too much.
But in
hair.
the opening, you had Tony, Junior, and Jimmy all with beards right in a row, and I was going, I was loving it. I'm sorry, I digress.
I was looking for David Reagan because I just think he's cute.
Okay, I don't think
Okay.
you can grow a beard.
Hey, but all right. So by lap 10, the race starts. Okay, we're racing. We're racing. By lap 10, almost all the rookies are gone.
They're gone.
Sorry, you don't
Like,
get to play
okay,
with us.
we cleared them out. Now we can go real racing.
Now the veterans get to race.
That's
Sorry,
right.
get out of
Now it's
here.
our turn.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. Although I will say, so there were a few cautions. So, and I would say that the one caution that Jeff was avoiding, he did a really great job at that. He did you see that one where he weaved through, weave through?
I know.
Oh, here's a wreck of the rookies.
I'm going around, I'm going around, I'm going around. I'm free.
Yeah, there were quite a few melees.
Yes. And Jeff actually kind of, I think, caused one.
I wasn't
but
gonna
Denny
say.
Hamlin caused another.
Yeah, well, and Jeff just got a little loose. He got a little squirrely in the middle and then kind of, boonk, into Greg Biffle.
Oh, and
Sorry.
speaking of Greg Biffle. Oh, you
Oh,
poor
my
dear.
goodness.
Oh, my
He's got to be
gosh.
okay for the pause event we're going to on
That's
Wednesday.
right.
I felt so bad for him because he had problems and he'd come in and get them fixed, and then he'd have problems and he'd
He'd
never get
run
them.
around.
I'm like, Greg.
But I gotta tell you, I was listening to Junior on his radio, and I think he's got a new spotter. Because it's a different voice and a different attitude.
Interesting.
Was
And-
Greg
and-
having any attitude?
And I tell you what, that whole team was calm, professional. Junior was
Wow.
giving them feedback.
Good.
And,
Oh, this is
It's a new
Junior.
year.
This is Junior.
Yeah, in fact, I wasn't even listening to the TV guys. I was listening to his spotter. His spotter was calling that race.
Wow.
He was telling Junior everything.
Good.
And, Junior would respond immediately. I'd see the spotter say, I hear the spotter say something, and I see Junior make a move to respond to it.
Wow, that's big.
So I was quite
Interesting.
impressed by that. I
Good.
mean,
So
it was-
I'm thinking they've got a new attitude sheet for the year.
right.
Hopefully.
But they unfortunately got tangled up in that wreck.
Oh,
I looked at Lady S and I went, here we go.
Zip, 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 zip. Because we're out of there.
All the Junior fans, for some
Yeah.
reason, okay, he's out, I'm
Yeah.
gone.
No,
Not
they
me. I don't
actually
do
didn't
that.
do that
No.
much
No, it
last
wasn't
night.
too
They
much.
wanted to see the end of the race because it was really exciting.
It was
Yeah.
very
to watch.
good.
So
Yeah.
Very good.
it was good racing. Lots
Yes.
of lead changes.
And and then Kevin Harvick wins. And you're like,
Yeah.
where did he come from?
I
I
know.
know.
he was just like in the back going,
Well, we were watching.
Jeff Gordon said so. He said Harvick was just laying back the whole time.
Well, no, I don't think so. Because I mean,
I think so.
Yeah, he
racing.
was.
They were racing, and he was having trouble keeping up with the draft. I mean, I'm sorry, he was away.
Yeah,
from
but
the
as long
pack
as you
a lot.
stay along the lead lap.
But you
Well-
watched him do this at Daytona 2 years ago. He knows how to play the track.
Yes,
Well, he
does.
did say in
Yeah.
his, a congratulations speech, I guess it is. that,
victory?
yeah, it is a lot like when I won.
Yeah.
It was like,
500.
who's that yellow car? Oh my gosh, he's
Well,
going to win.
I will say that Jeff Gordon did help him up to the front.
Yeah, because poor
I watched
Jeffy,
him.
Jeffy should have won. I believe Jeffy should have won, and
Yeah,
Jeffy
thank
really
you,
should.
Jimmy.
I heard a lot of confidence.
Should have won.
I heard a lot of confidence in your
Should have
voice,
won.
Jeff. I'm encouraged by the confidence I heard. But because Harvick was behind him at the restart, Harvick went down to the inside, left Jeff out to dry. He ain't gonna win nothing.
Well, and Jeff knew he had no friends on that.
Oh,
track.
yeah, nobody has any friends.
No,
no,
has
no,
any
Jeff
friends.
really has no friends. No, if y'all have some pseudo friends, Jeff has no friends.
Well, Jeff had already said he had a car that could push.
Yes.
Now, yes, he was going to go for the win, but his car was
Yeah.
really good at pushing.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but Tony Stewart looked great in his car.
Yes.
I thought he
It-
performed
it-
well.
Well, the car didn't loosen up as much as he thought that it was going to, but they did some pretty good adjustments on it. And all in all, I'm pretty happy, and I'm excited about what's to come.
And the Fords looked good as well.
Yes.
They were really
Yes.
strong.
I picked Matt Kenseth to win the Daytona 500. Just saying.
Oh,
Put it
you
out
heard it here
there.
first.
Out on that
I don't need any practice to
She
watch
won't
or
get on
dueling
the
now.
list.
Matt
I don't know.
Kenseth.
I'd be a little worried.
He's
about
overdue.
Jamie
I
Murray.
think you're going to win it,
I
man.
don't know. Jamie Mack looked strong too.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be a DEI car. I think
No,
they're going to redeem
I'm thinking of
themselves.
Fords.
I have no doubt they need to redeem,
I
but
think
I
it's
don't
a
know.
Ford.
One thing
We'll
we know for
see.
sure is that we don't know. So
That's right. You have to stay tuned because we don't
We don't know.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll check you guys later.
Thanks
All right.
for sticking with the Racetrack Ladies. You know that while we're in Daytona, that we'll be doing daily updates, and we know that you'll be checking us out on our YouTube.
Just check us out
Racetrack
at
Ladies.
check us out at racetrackladies.com. You can check everything there.
All right.
right.
Meanwhile, we'll be at the track and
Going green.